We get it. You like Wolverine. You hate Hulk. Fine. We're trying to run a show here. Grow up already. I mean, come on. How long are we going to drag this out? Hulk smash! You're right, Bobby. That was a lot of fun.
I told you.
Welcome to This Is Gravel. Bobby usually likes to talk about himself, but he's let me say hello this go around. So look at that. Thanks for joining in and tuning in today. We've got a lot of fun stuff to talk about, so we're very excited. Per the usual, Bobby, what have you been up to?
Yay, I get to talk. Just got done with a race in Cumming, Iowa. Actually, around that area, around the southwest tip of Des Moines, and called 24 Hours of Cumming. We did a 4-man, 60-mile each leg relay race.
So 240 miles total.
240 miles total. Start at 11 a.m., which means somebody gets to ride through the night. So that's part of it and part of the navigation of it. So had an absolute blast. So.
Yeah. And you guys returned as the defending 4-person team. Is that correct? The defending champs.
Last year there was an epic thunderstorm during the 4th leg overnight, and so we were the only team that finished it last year. Only relay team that finished it last year. So yes, this year we went back. There were 5 teams entered. 4 teams towed the line, and 3 of them finished this year, and we were the first ones to come across the line this year in the relay. So
we've talked or made mention previously about events like this, the relay in particular, and this event is obviously growing from 2 4-person teams last year to 5 this year. That's 20 people. Mm-hmm. But I really think, tell me a little bit about how that differs from a typical event and why you like doing that particular one.
So the neat thing about it is if you're going to a traditional gravel race where everybody rides and everybody toes the line, is you get there, but everyone has the same level of anxiety, same level of nervousness. You got to go to bed at a certain time. Everyone gets up. Everyone's getting ready to ride. So you don't really have the camaraderie as much because you're all out there riding at the same time. Whereas in a relay, you get up there the night before, you camp out. Only one guy out of your team is going to have to be up and ready to ride the next day. So the rest of them are more just hanging around, support, enjoying company. They enjoy the atmosphere of the event, so that as you're riding, they're having fun. You know, maybe drinking a beer. You're getting to know each other. Each leg takes, it took us about 3 hours and 45 minutes for a leg. So during that 3 hours and 45 minutes, the other guys are just hanging back and talking to other teams, talking to other groups. So instead of the event, the riders all being out for 4 hours, there's always riders at the finish line talking and enjoying the day. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. The other neat thing about a relay race is while you're riding, there is no thinking of stopping. I mean, your entire team is counting on you to get back to the line, so you just need to go out and knock it out as fast as you can. So,
absolutely. I can think of a team mountain bike race that I did where I broke my collarbone on the opening lap, and when the EMT arrived on his 4-wheeler and asked if I wanted to ride back, I said no, because the lap won't count. He looked at me like I was crazy, but I had teammates waiting on me, and I was not going to not finish that lap.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other thing is, there was a part where there was a point where I went off course, about 1.5 miles, and as it was, the course went like this, and we met back up, and we saw the riders, and a guy behind me said, "Well, we're doing the same mileage. Can't we just go on?" And no, the entire team is counting on you and your leg. There's absolutely no thought of just going on. You backtrack and you stick to the route and you finish your route, because that entire team is counting on you to do it the right way and to follow the rules. And so, yeah, we did extra mileage, but we had fun.
Yeah. And so what was the end result this year?
End result was first place again this year. So,
Title defense successful.
We shaved about 4 hours off of our time last year. Each one of us shaved at least 45 minutes to an hour off of last year's time. So same legs, same course, same elevation differences this year. I had about 5,000 feet of elevation in my 60 miles. So there's a lot of up and down in Iowa. So, but yeah, I had a blast.
Nice.
You wanted to play a little bit this past weekend too.
Yeah.
You hadn't got to do a race event this year, if I remember correctly.
I haven't been doing a ton. I think this is my first since Maisie's way back in May. So I've had a few months of not doing any events. And as I've been telling everyone for who knows how long, I've went up to the Mattohey up in North Dakota. Now the full race is a 100-mile trail race, point to point. I did opt to do the 54, which was their half distance. And that proved to be the right choice for my training and fitness.
Legs were tired
at this point. I did not want another 50. Could I have finished? That's eternally up for debate, but
sure.
I was content to not find out this go around.
Okay.
But had an amazing drive up. My wife Christina joined me, and the trails and terrain of the Badlands were fantastic.
Right.
For those familiar, for a good reference point, is it looked and felt a lot like our Wilson Lake out in western Kansas, minus the technical rocks. If you swap the rocks for hoof prints and cattle prints, that was really the most challenging part of it, other than just the sheer steepness of the climbs. This one was 6,000 feet of climbing and 54 miles of single track. So very steep climbing, very hard climbing. So
some walking.
Only a couple times. I was very pleased to not have, and one of those times was just being caught up in traffic early on, and folks, forcing you off your bike. So
cool. Now I heard you had a little bit of fun with a video camera on the way up there.
Yes. Christina was not only my co-pilot, but she was also our documentarian, and she's got some footage to share with everyone.
Sweet. Why don't we take a look?
Check it out, Matt. Yeah. Howdy everyone, we are here at New Salem, North Dakota with Salem Sioux, the largest Holstein cow, and beautiful view over here overlooking the sunflowers. And en route to Medora and the Badlands. Howdy, we have arrived here in Medora, North Dakota. I'm joined by Chris Sutton, and we are preparing for the Mattohey 50 tomorrow, but we have landed here at Custer's Cottage, and we'll give you a nice preview of our accommodations. My co-pilot and lovely wife, Christina, will give you the grand tour. Look forward to that action. Chris, you were coming from Eagle, Colorado. How was the trip up?
It was good. Took 2 days, took my time getting up here, and stopped in the Black Hills and camped last night, and got a little ride in on some gravel in the Black Hills this morning. It was wonderful. Yeah.
Well, and typically we're talking gravel on the This Is Gravel show, but we're doing a little bit of trails this weekend. So, how was the gravel down in the Black Hills?
It was wonderful. Beautiful scenery, great roads, a great shape. It's just nice to get out and spin the legs after sitting in the car for 12 hours. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They've got some good events that I've had my eye on. Fool's Gold, I think, is the one down there in that area. So, one to check out for. But Mattohey, that's what we're here for. Have you ever done this event before?
Never. I found out about it watching This Is Gravel.
We have been talking about it the last couple episodes, and excited to be up here finally. 50 miles is not the full ride, but at 6,000 feet for 54 miles of single track sounds like no small feat. You feeling ready and prepared?
I do feel ready. Of course, we'll see what happens tomorrow, but yeah, it'll be nice to get our feet wet, half the distance, but just get a feel for what's out there, and the intent's to come back next year and try the full plan. So yeah. See how it goes.
Well, we'll see. You and I'll both learn a little bit more tomorrow, but I think despite the lots and lots of climbing, it's not an overly technical trail from what I know. So it seems like a good one for some gravel folks. If they're interested in trying a little single track, this could be a good one to get started on if you've got your climbing legs about you. All right, well, we'll do some more checking in later. Chris, thanks.
Thank you.
I've made it to Custer's Cottages, where we will be staying in a lovely little covered wagon. Let's just see if anyone's home.
Well, hello! covered wagon. And, oh, well, I should just stop talking and let you see it. Come on in. Right here we've got this thing. And a bed. That's all you really need in life. It's that thing in a bed. That's about it. See you later.
Bright and early here in the Badlands. 5 a.m., 3:30 departure from town. Getting our things ready. Gonna hit the trails. Come by, victory. Yeah, buddy. Gotta need some food.
From Emporia, Kansas, LeLan James.
North Dakota accent, huh?
Yes.
Is that native?
No, that was picked up along the trip. She's a
Thank you,
native
Christina.
Kanza.
You did an awesome job. What's this you got around your neck?
Well, not only did I have an amazing time, but I was able to take the fat bike class win and 9th overall. So
That's
had a
awesome.
pretty good showing.
That's not bad for just getting on the bike and riding.
Yeah, had a lot of fun.
Cool. You going back some other time, or are you doing a similar type
You
event,
know, there is in the back of my head that thought of it's a really big deal to do the 100 and be in the Mattohey in a day club. Not
Okay.
very many people have finished the full 100 miles. And to take it a step further, he now has a Mattohey 150 bike packing trip
geez.
that really sounds exciting. But while I didn't do a lot of walking on the climbs this go around, for 50 miles it was everything I could do to stay on my bike. Fully loaded, there would be some pushing.
Now, there was other people who'd walked every once in a while. Obviously.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
yes. I think
so-
you saw in the footage some folks. You know, there's some climbs that were very, very tough.
Cool. Well, good job.
Thank you.
Way to represent Emporia, and this is gravel.
Yeah, lots of Emporians out last weekend, really tearing it up.
Sweet. So one thing I did notice when I was doing the hills out in Iowa this week, and one thing I'm sure you've noticed too, is as we do more climbing, as we do more events with climbing, you're going to notice some maybe slippage here and there with your drivetrain. There's a lot of questions about that. Is it the cassette? Is it the chain? So for that, we met up with Adam Blake here at Gravel City Adventure and Supply in Emporia, Kansas, and I think he gave us some advice, I believe.
Absolutely. There's a lot of moving parts, literally, when it comes to the drivetrain. Lots of foreign names and complicated components. So Adam, I think, does a great job of kind of walking us through that and what to look for.
Adam Blake here at Gravel City Adventure and Supply Company, going to give you an overview of what makes up your drivetrain and a few of the wear items and how you can prevent excessive wear on your drivetrain. So when we talk drivetrain, we're basically talking this area of the bike. We're talking chain rings and crank, front derailleur, cassette or freewheel, which is your gear cluster, the chain, and the rear derailleur. Those make up the entirety of the drivetrain. Your biggest issues of wear are going to be in the chain, in the cassette, and in the pulleys in the rear derailleur. And the pulleys are the gear sprocket looking pieces that the chain runs on. Your biggest concern in drivetrain and way to keep it in good shape is obviously cleanliness and using lubricants and cleaners on the chain. Another good piece of advice is to bring your bike into the bike shop occasionally, and we can actually measure the stretch or wear on the chain with a indicator like this. It basically just drops in and it measures the amount of what we call stretch, but it's actually the wearing of the rollers in the chain. What happens, something that's indicative of a stretch chain is going to be feeling of slipping or sliding past. It could feel like the chain is jumping, especially under power. And something that happens is the chain is going to wear all other pieces of the drivetrain. So keeping a healthy chain, a new chain, is going to be the best way to keep the drivetrain in good health. Out of a chain, you can expect 1,500 to 2,500 miles, depending on conditions and lubrication and cleanliness. One thing that happens with the chain rings as they naturally wear is they develop a phenomena or a thing called shark toothing. So they'll actually look like waves breaking or shark teeth, and that's something that you can visually inspect on your own anytime. Noticing the pulley wear, the pulleys are generally pretty flat and they will become sharp and get worn like a throwing star basically. Another way to tell if that's happening is it's going to feel like the chain is jumping past your gears. In the chain, when we get to a certain amount of stretch, it'll actually wear the cassette, so that's another reason to get a new chain occasionally. You can usually get about 3 to 4 chains per cassette if you're changing it on a regular basis. Front derailleurs, the thing you can check for is lateral play. They'll actually wear down in the pivots, and so as long as that stays firm, that's going to give you a more precise shifting and make it so that you're not getting slack jumping up and down from the gears. The rear derailleur, you can check for pulley tension, make sure it's springing back, and other than that, the rear derailleur will last quite a long time. The pulleys will wear out, like I mentioned, but the derailleur itself usually stays intact for a good amount of time. As we run through the drivetrain, things to always check for is shifting and quality of shifting. And this is something that you can do on your own if you have a little work stand or if you can elevate the rear wheel. Otherwise, you can always bring it to a shop and we can take a look at the shifting. That's usually a pretty inexpensive fix. With any questions on a drivetrain, your best bet is always to bring it into your local shop. Us down at Gravel City Adventure and Supply Company can always take a look at all parts of your drivetrain and give you a recommendation and replacement of parts if needed.
Q&A time. Favorite part of the show, questions and answers with special guest correspondents, Nora and Reagan. Nora?
Okay, Nora, do you have the first question for us?
How many bottles do you keep on the bike?
Okay, how many bottles do you keep on your bike?
To me, well, I now have a cutthroat as of this year, and in fact, there are mounts for up to 7 bottle cages.
7!
But I do not put bottle cages in all of those locations. I have, I think, 4 cages on there. 3 inside the triangle of the frame and 1 on my fork.
Sweet. I keep 4 bottles on my bike. 2 in my bottle cages. I have a Warbird. Has 3 bottle cages on it, but I like to keep 2 in the upper bottle cages and 2 in my feed bags so that they're easy to grab. And then I keep my equipment in the 3rd under bottle cage on the bike.
So you have one of those bottles that has the tools and stuff in it?
Yeah, the little keg thing down there, and I keep some equipment down there. Absolutely. Thank you, Nora. Question number 2.
Have either of you tried chamois hair butter before?
Excellent question. Leland, have you?
Of course. All right, I know it's all pH balanced for her and that sort of thing, but it's lavender scented, and let's face it, guys, you're curious. You want to know what it's like.
I can honestly say I haven't.
Oh!
But it's just because, I haven't had it around, so.
I think we know where to get you some.
Okay, I'll
Give
have
it a
to try
try.
some of that. Absolutely. I'll let you guys know next time. Question number 3. Nora.
What is your favorite post-race thing to eat? Let's
LeLan, what do you eat after a race?
Oh man, two things initially come to mind, and that's some deliciously sloppy Mexican food, a plate of just the messiest food you can order, or a cheeseburger. But truth be told, I want those things all of the time. So,
So the race just gives you the good excuse
yes,
to do that.
it's
right?
just amplified.
I will eat whatever the nearest food truck has in it. That's what gets me through the last 10 miles is what am I going to finish up the day eating? I mean, I'm going to eat the rest of the day guilt-free, and I love it. Last weekend's race, after I had my hamburger, I think it was a hamburger. Yeah, I had a hamburger. I had, deep fried lemon Oreo cookies covered in powdered sugar. Hot from the vat.
Was the state fair going on?
Oh my gosh, no. It was right next to the bar, so you had that and you had your beer, and it was excellent for about 15-20 minutes. And then it wasn't as great, but for that 20 minutes, it was perfect. So yes, anything.
The coach in me wants to say that, and I know this will fall on deaf ears because I don't abide by it myself, while you should replenish with good foods, I fully understand that it is not what you're craving when you end a ride.
Sure. Question number 4. Reagan.
Legs to shave or not to shave?
Great question.
Great
do you
question.
Shave your leg? You do not shave your legs.
I do not any longer. For the majority of my cycling tenure, I did shave legs, and for a couple of reasons. When I was mountain biking, I crashed a lot, and the road rash is really tough. And the mud, peeling mud off, it's just comfortable. You really are a little bit cooler and noticeably different in the temperature and body cooling. So that's nice. Hair is a natural insulator. So there are some positive reasons to shave. Probably why I don't anymore is just the maintenance of it. It is difficult to stay on top of. You really have to be committed to it.
So you're lazy.
Yeah, that's really what it comes down to. I try to crash a whole lot less.
I have never shaved my legs. It is because I am lazy. I totally get the benefits. Last year I crashed on asphalt at a pretty good speed and tore my arm all the way up to the top. And I got to say that when the hair was growing back in through the scabbing and everything, no, I totally get it. Just been lazy and hopefully I don't crash that often on gravel.
Nothing to be ashamed of.
No, it's cool. Yep, absolutely.
Where is your favorite place to ride gravel?
Where's your favorite place to ride gravel?
Goodness. Well, the Flint Hills are amazing. I know that's an easy cop-out, but it truly is, in my opinion, and I have not ridden gravel everywhere, but it is a phenomenal place. Very few cars, beautiful spaces, rugged, tough terrain. It really is everything I look for in a gravel road. But there are a few other good spots that come to mind. So.
I think there's just lots of different types of riding out there, and they're all fun in their own right. I mean, I love bombing down dirt roads where you got to be very careful to pick your route and watch for the ruts. I love doing that, but that makes you tired very quickly. I love roaming out in the Flint Hills. I love being out in the vastness of it, and I got to say, I really enjoyed the climbing in Iowa. Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed the gravel is perfect. So you don't have to worry about that. It's like riding on a well-maintained road because you are, and all you need to worry about is the climbing, and it's very, very challenging. So I love that also. So absolutely, lots of places to ride. I can't wait to ride more. So.
Absolutely. Easily the best Q&A session we have had to date. Thank you, ladies, for your assistance. Much appreciated. Always love having those gals.
The energy level, you can feel free to babysit anytime you want.
Okay. Well, whenever we're feeling like we're ready for children, we'll just babysit for a day.
Or a reminder why you're not ready for children.
Yes.
Either way, so, okay, what do we got coming up?
Well, there's lots coming up. I know you're heading to Gravel Worlds.
I am heading to Gravel
We're
Worlds.
both heading to Idaho.
We got
Rebecca's
Idaho on the
private
horizon
Idaho. So
for RPI.
Lots of good stuff.
We're taking the Gravel Guru crew. He's taking his crew up to Gravel Worlds to do some filming. So we should get some pretty good footage coming back from that. So excited to have Matt and his buddies up there.
And the Gravel Guru crew stand-in Christina will probably be in Idaho, making her magic
That's
behind
right.
the camera.
That's right. I'm sure there's a pretty good Emporia riding crew going up to Idaho, and I'm sure there'll be
Yes.
lots of footage coming back from that, and some of it will be arable. So, yeah.
As always, send in your thoughts, questions, comments, concerns. We love to hear from you all. Let us know what you want to hear us talk about. Any new events we need to be hearing about, send it our way. Let us know what's happening. Show us where you're riding. #thisisgravel. We love it.
You said a lot of stuff. Thanks for watching.